Nathan, it's good to see you. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Jim. How are you?
I am phenomenal. Thank you so much for asking. A question's come in from Phyllis. You ready for this one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Phyllis wants to know, does it make sense or more financial sense to repair an aging system, HVAC system, heading into fall or go ahead and replace it before another Ohio summer arrives?
Hmm, good question. So I think a few things that you need to look at, Phyllis, when you're considering a decision. That's a big decision to make, right?
Mm,
And ultimately, our job, our technicians in the home, our comfort advisors, us as a company, whoever your contractor will be, is to educate, right? Is to find the problems, diagnose the problems, the challenges, be able to provide solutions for those, and then you know. For you as the client, it's your job to choose what makes the most sense for you based off of the situation, the budget, the financials, etc. Initially, though, when it comes down to it, um, when you're looking at that system, I think we start to what makes the most sense to most people is, hey, what makes sense as far as how much money do I keep putting into this older system, right? So, how old is this system? According to Consumer Reports, in this part of the country, the average age is 12 years. Now, I have personally seen, worked on, taken out, seen perfect running systems at 20 and 30 and 40 years old, right? And I've seen them and taken them out and or they weren't working at 2 and 3 and 4 years old, right? And so it depends on the system. Is it properly sized, designed, installed, and serviced, and cleaned, etc. But you take everything into perspective. The average Consumer Report says is 12 years. Now, so the first question is how old are we? Is this a 15-year-old system, a 12-year-old system, a 3-year-old system, etc.? And so typically the general rule of thumb, right, that typically makes sense to have that conversation and to really, hey, let's drill down, let's look at both options, repair versus replace it is, hey, is it 10 years old or older, right, as an average? And is the cost of repairs greater than $1,000? As far as the repairs to get it back up and going. Now you could be looking at some other things and upgrades and indoor air quality, but things like that. But that's gonna be the same as an old system as a new system, right? I'm talking like actual repairs to fix the system and keep that system running. If it's greater than $1,000 or greater than 10 years, it's the general rule of thumb, yeah, I guess if you will, that we have found that makes the most sense for the homeowners to make a great logical decision to say, yes, you know what, I want to put that money into it and repair it. And or you know what? Yes, it makes much more sense to protect my money, right, and invest it into a new system that has a 12-year parts and labor warranty, that I have total peace of mind, that is more efficient, right? That'll save you my utility costs, which we give a guarantee of 25% or better of utility savings. So and they decide to go that route. Either is perfectly fine, but that's I think is some great criteria that helps make the most sense is, hey, what is the cost of ownership going to be to continue on with this if I go ahead and do these repairs versus look at those replacement options?
Yeah, that's always the big question. Do I repair it or replace it? I like replacing if there's a question, meaning that if it's gonna cost me so much to repair it now and the system is so old, and there are formulas for this, it's very
Mhm.
simple, there are formulas for this.
Yep.
You can Google it, you can make up your own mind, and quite often, it just makes sense. Same thing with a car or a truck. It just makes sense to start over again, eh, because you don't have to worry about it. Now, there are some people who are price sensitive, but when it comes to comfort in your home, there sh
Mhm.
there shouldn't be an issue with that. I mean, you have to get this done, and the good news is great financing options.
Yeah, 100%. You can get, people say, "Oh, that's a big investment. Why of all times right now?" Because it never happens, right? When we're thinking, "Oh, this week would be a great week. I hope I get to replace my AC." Like, never known anybody to wake up and say that, right? And so the good thing is there's so many different options now, affordable payment plans. I mean, depending on the time of year, of just promotional things with those, and you always have there's no money down, and you don't have to make a payment for the first 30 days, and so right, you've got time before even your first payment, so you can get brand new systems installed with all these warranties and things for 100, $200 a month, and it's just set it and forget it, right? If there's an issue, call us, we'll take care of the rest. And so just makes it very, very simple moving forward. Like I said, not to mention, we've seen oftentimes where people will save in their utility savings,
Mhm.
right? That makes the monthly payment from the new system. Right? And so, there's just lots of ways I think that, oftentimes we don't know what we don't know. And so I think before you make that decision, right? Ask the questions, give us a call, have one of our guys or gals come out and we'll look through it with you, give you options both ways so that you can make a good educated decision of what makes the most sense for you moving forwards.
And if your system is 15 years old or older, you'd be shocked
Yeah.
at the technology today. Even if it's 10 years old,
Oh, yeah.
the technology is totally different and you will save a lot of money. Your system won't run as hard.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, it's just like everything else. HVAC is not, uh, limited, right, to all the changes that have been happening over the
Mhm.
past, you know, 2, 3, 5, and 10 years. Um, it's right there the same way. So, yeah, night and day difference in today's equipment than 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Nathan, as always, thank you so much for joining me today on the program.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.